So we've looked a lot at linear equations, but now we're looking at something, and it's linear inequalities. Okay, so we have worked with these symbols before, right? So there's four of them. You can have a greater than, a less than, greater than or equal to, and a less than or equal to. Okay, so four different types, and now we're graphing these. Okay, so you can graph these by hand. Okay, it's the same deal kind of as graphing a regular equal sign, so a regular equation, but I'm going to show you kind of a faster way to do it so that we don't have to waste a lot of time. Okay, so notice we've got y is less than negative 1/3 x plus 1. Okay, first of all, my slope is the number right here. This is slope-intercept form, so it's negative 1/3. Okay, so we can do this on our calculator actually, and your first step is just going to be creating a new document. Okay, and it's going to be a graph. We're going to be graphing these. Okay, so here's my calculator. Remember, to start a new document, you're going to press the home button, so on. Okay, choosing new document. No, we're not going to save. And then we can go to add graphs. Okay, so we're going to be graphing. Okay, now right here you can see we've got f of x equals, that's the same thing as y equals. To get rid of that, so this is our next step, all you're going to do is press this delete button. Okay, so notice I'm going to press my delete button. It's right here. Okay, so you see your menu button, it's right here, the delete. Okay, when you press delete, all of your different symbols pop up. Okay, now for this example, notice it's a less than, so I'm going to go down and find my less than symbol. Okay, and then I can type in the rest of my equation. So I've got negative, control divide to get my 1/3, so 1/3. Remember to scroll out of the fraction, so then you can do x plus 1. Okay, so we press delete. You choose symbol and type equation. Okay, so I chose my symbol, I typed my equation, now I'll press enter, just like you would a regular graph. Okay, so obviously we can just press the enter key. And you see I've got my line, and because I have an inequality, I have shading down here. Okay, now there are two things that we need to check. So my last step here is you need to check your line. It's either going to be solid or dotted. And you need to check the shading. Is it above the line or below the line? Okay, so to check the line, you can just move your little arrow around. Okay, you're going to go until it hits, you can see the little hand pops up. When it touches that line, okay, I'll do it over here as well so you can see it again. You go until your hand hits that line. Notice this line is dotted. Okay, so we checked our line, it is dotted, and the shading is below. Okay, so now I can get this on my graph. Okay, so let's see, wait till it's lighting. Notice it goes through my y-axis at 1 and my x-axis at 1, 2, 3, so I've got my line. Okay, and remember that line is dotted. Okay, so I've got my dotted line. I was careful about that. And my shading, if you remember, was on the bottom. Okay, so my dotted line and my shading was on the bottom. Now you can look on your calculator. We can see, okay, there it is. Crosses my x-axis at 3 and my y-axis at 1. So the x-intercept, excuse me, was 3, and the y-intercept in this case was a positive 1. Okay, so now I'm done. Okay, so we've got your steps over here, our slope and our intercepts, and then just a really quick sketch of our graph.